welcome to episode 35 of the Little Black Cat Knits podcast, a podcast all about knitting and crochet and other crafty things that I happen to get into. I am your host, Ashley, coming at you from New Jersey, where I live with my husband, my 3 sons, and my little black cat, who will probably make an appearance in this video at some point, as he always does. I am the dyer behind Gatti Yarn Co. If you didn't know, it's been a very long time since I've podcasted, guys. I mean, I think I checked and my last actual full podcast episode was a year ago. So forgive me if I'm a little out of practice. My background has changed because I no longer have a chair in my room. So yeah, my baby is napping. So we're gonna get into this. Grab yourself a beverage. It's probably gonna be a long one because, as you can see, we have a lot of whips to talk about. But first, let's get into all the admin-y stuff. As I said, I am the owner and dyer behind Gatti Yarn Co. You can find all of my hand-dyed yarn on Etsy at Gatti Yarn Co. You can find me on Instagram also as Gatti Yarn Co. And Ravelry as AM Gatti. I think that just about covers everything admin wise. I hope, I don't know. We'll pop some more admin in if need be. If you're new here, welcome. I post when I can. I have 3 children. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. We have a lot to dive into. Because it has been so long since I've filmed a actual sit down podcast, I do not have any finished objects to show you because I genuinely can't remember what I talked about last time. Like I said, it's been a year. I mean, yeah. I mean, I've posted videos on here since then, obviously, but it's been a year since I've filmed an actual sit-down podcast. But we're gonna get into it. I'm thirsty, so I'm gonna drink out of my Jensen Ackles cup. And yeah, we're staying hydrated today, friends. Let's jump in. I've got my show notes right in front of me. We've got a lot to talk about. So yeah, I think we'll start with this project, which is living in this Harry Potter Places bag from Lila Styles. I love her bags, honestly, guys. But this is a pair of socks that I'm calling my thin striped socks. I started them a while ago and have not really made much progress, but here it is. These are going to be my Slytherin socks. I am knitting these on a US 1 2.25 millimeter 9-inch circular, and I'm knitting them out of Knit Pick Stroll in the Dove Heather and Aurora Heather colorways. Yeah, I'm following a tutorial from the Crazy Sock Lady. I don't know exactly the name of the tutorial. I'll link it down below. It's the tutorial she put out about how she used to knit share a pair sets from Mandy's Makings with the stripes. Every time I do any kind of thin striped sock, I follow that tutorial. But yeah, there's really not much to talk about for this project because it's very low-key, I guess. I mean, I did 20 rounds for the cuff. That's about all 2x2 ribbing. Yeah, really not much to say about this one. I haven't worked on it. To be honest, when I was gathering projects, kind of forgot about it. It was at the bottom of my little whip bin, so I should pull this out and work on it more because of the striping, they go really fast. But yeah, moving right along. I'm gonna try to go through this relatively quickly so you're not sitting here for 17 hours because like I said, we have a lot of whips to get through. Also, I'm not quite sure how long my baby's gonna nap for. So I want to try to get this done before he's done napping. So we're gonna breeze through, sort of, kind of, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, the next pair, well, now you know. The next whip is a pair of socks living in this bag that I made that's falling apart. This is why I don't sell bags, guys. Anyway, this is just a pair of toe-up socks for Keith, my husband. The first sock is done. And I have started the second. Got the toe done and a little bit of the foot. I knit him 72 stitch count. And I use a Fish Lips Kiss heel. He likes shorty socks, so I only do 10 rounds for the leg and then 10 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff. I'm knitting this on US 1 2.25 millimeter magic loop. That's how I knit all my socks, US 1s. So if I forget to say it, that's just, you know. This little progress keeper that right now is just marking the front of the sock is a little pierogi that I got from 3 by the Sea Designs. The yarn I'm using, that would probably be good to talk about, wouldn't it? The heels, toes, and cuff are done out of Knit Picks Stroll in the Ash colorway. And then the rest of the sock, the self-striping, is from Moose and You yarns. I don't believe they are dyeing anymore. At least I couldn't find them anywhere when I looked. But this is the I Smell Children colorway. I have a pair of socks for myself out of this colorway as well. I have this like insane goal to knit Keith and I matching Halloween socks out of all the Halloween self-striping that I have. So far it's slow moving. I have tons of Halloween socks. He has not caught up yet. That's my own fault. I keep these in the diaper bag usually. So that way I have it's my on-the-go knitting in the car, waiting rooms, wherever, you know. The on-the-go knitting is usually Keith's socks. Because he has a bigger foot than I do, they take a little bit longer, so yeah, that's why they're the on-the-go knitting. Because then I like kind of always has something to work on, you know, because his socks take a little bit longer. I think that's all I have to say about these. Is there anything else? Probably not. Let's see. Oh gosh, I'm getting comfy, guys. We're getting comfy. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is the last pair of socks that I'm working on out of this adorable Casper bag by Midwest Stitches. I love Danielle's bags too. They are some of my faves. But I'm just knitting a pair of shorty socks for myself. I realized that I don't have a lot of shorty socks and I wanted to rectify that. So I've been stash diving and pulling out any like old, I wouldn't say old, but like scraps that are more than 50 grams. And yeah, so I'm knitting these cuff down. I just did 10 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff, 10 rounds for the leg, standard heel, flap, and gusset. All of my socks are 64 stitch count. I feel like I forgot to mention that in the last pair of socks that I was talking about for myself, but I do 64 stitches for my socks. Same thing, US 1 2.25 millimeter needle, magic loop. Why am I leaning? Guys, what am I doing? Anyway, and I'm on the foot. I'm knitting this out of Legacy Fiber Arts in their steel toe base, I believe. I don't have the ball band anymore. In the Portal colorway. This was from their Coraline Halloween collection a couple years ago. And anytime I see anything Coraline, I have to buy it because Keith's one of his favorite movies is Coraline. So he already has a pair of socks out of these, and his I use the mini with as well. But that's these. These sometimes go in my purse when I don't feel like working on Keith's socks. Yeah, this is generally my on-the-go knitting when I'm picking up the kids from school and I just grab a project bag because I just bring my wallet with me. Anyway, moving right along. We're cruising, guys. Gotta hydrate. Not gonna lie to you, I'm mildly hungover today. We went to an event last night, and there was like an after party. I just had like 1 too many glasses of wine. It's all right. We're fine. We're moving. We're cruising through the day. It's a weird day today too. I'll talk about it in life stuff later. But anyway, we're gonna keep going before I really lose track of life here. Living in Another Bag by Midwest Stitches is my Dryad Tank by Tristan Molina of Dragon Horde Yarn. And I'm knitting this out of my hand-dyed yarn in the Acid Pop colorway. This color is like, let me show it to you in the cake. It's like obscene. Like I cannot wait to wear this because this is just like the neon yellow of my dreams. Anyway, this is our retired base that I don't carry anymore. So anyway, I am making some modifications to this. Tristan includes in the pattern measurements and kind of like a formula if you need to add length, and I am adding length. I think the pattern calls for like 6 inches for the body. I'm gonna knit like 12 or 13, and I'm not doing any decreases or anything because my hip and bust measurement are the same, so no need for decreases, right? And I also omitted the smaller needles for like the bottom ribbing to cinch it in. I kind of wanted to just like flow, so I went right in with the body needles, which are, I think I'm using my knit pick set. I can't see. I believe this is it a 5? I believe it's a 5. It's probably a 5. But yeah, so I'm making good progress on this. I have a lot of tops going on right now, guys. Like, I don't know who I think I am. These are really like, I said to myself, yeah, let's make a bunch of tops for spring and summer. It's spring. Oh, it's Friday, May 10th, 2024. I don't think I said that. So yeah, we're already like into May, and all of the tops I said I would have done for spring and summer are nowhere near being done. But that's okay, because it's fine. They'll get done when they get done. I'm done trying to put like a time limit on myself. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about these. The Dryad tank, I absolutely love it. I haven't decided, so it has like a bow detail in the back. I'll pop up a picture here, somewhere of the finished tank, because there's like a bow in the back, or you could do like an I-cord tie, and I haven't decided if I'm going to do the bow or not, but we'll get there when we get there. Anyway, moving right along. My next whip is living in this bag that I made myself, which is actually much better than the last one I showed you. This one has no rips in it. Anyway, this is the Ripple Bralette by Jessie Made Designs, and I am knitting this out of wool and vinyl. Which base is this? It's her Rockstar MCN, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 435 yards per 100 grams. And it is in the Dear Maria Count Me In colorway. So, I'm knitting this on I swear, either I'm blind or all of my needle sizes have rubbed off on things. US 4, 3.5 millimeter. I'm making like really decent progress on this. But yeah, my little Dean Winchester from Simply Serving. This is the only one I actually have like a progress keeper on, so you know, let's move that up. I'm gonna move it up now while I'm thinking about it, because I will forget otherwise. I'm also gonna have to pop progress keepers on everything else, because my goal is to try to get back to podcasting regularly. I say that, we'll see if it happens. Anyway, I am lengthening this as well. I think the original length was like 5 or 6 inches. I am going to 12 or 13, depending on my yardage for, you know, see how much yarn I have. And just like the Dryad tank, I omitted the smaller needles for the bottom ribbing to kind of cinch it in. Because I kind of figure this will be enough. I don't really want that extra, but that's just me, you know, whatever. But yeah, this one's getting a ton of progress. I don't know, there's something like so meditative about the patterning in this, like the 3x3 rib, that I'm just like, yeah, let's roll. I've been actually bringing this to pick up with me instead of my socks lately, because I don't know. I think I really want this top done. So I'm like, hey, let's go. Because I've never knit tank tops before, and here I am knitting two. Like, who am I? What do I think I'm doing, guys? Anyway, that's that. We're cruising. I still have so many things to talk about. Oh my god. Okay. Let's flip my show notes page. What's next? Living in the beautiful Practical Magic bag from Lila Styles. If you guys know anything about me, you know how much I freaking love Practical Magic. Anyway, this is my Rocket Tee by Tanis Fiber Arts. I've made some pretty good progress on this. Oh no, I'm not tangled. My mohair is stuck on Minnie. What am I doing? Let's orient this correctly. My rocket tee. Moving quite swimmingly on this. I tend to work on this a lot when Keith and I are watching Fargo. For some reason, this is like my Fargo knitting. I don't know why. Probably because I know I'm like focused for at least an hour. Anyway, isn't it gorgeous? I cannot wait for it to be done. I'm knitting this out of Chelsea yarns in, do I have the ball bands? I have one ball band. Two ball bands. The main color, which I guess, is there really a main? Anyway, the non-mohair, this one, is her Luxe 80-10-10, which is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon, 400 yards. And that is in the Spring Rain Orange colorway. I think it was like a one of a kind. And then the mohair is her Luxe mohair, 72% kid mohair, 28% silk, 459 yards in the colorway Red Bank. And yeah, I just thought those two colors looked really good together, and I was showing Keith, and Keith was like, the top is so 70s, and I was like, really? Apparently it is. Anyway, I forget what size I'm knitting on this. I want to say the 3 or 4. Everything I'm forgetting is on my Ravelry, guys, I can't talk, project page. I have project pages for all of my projects. Everything's listed down below, linked down below. You guys know the drill by now. If you're here, you know how the podcasts work. But yeah, I'm cruising right along on this. The only thing I did do differently than the pattern is there's these eyelets here, also supposed to continue down the side. I omitted that just because I know myself and I get stuff caught on everything, and I just know that if I've got eyelets, it's gonna catch on something. I just know. So I figured my safest bet was to just do the eyelets at the top and not on the sides, because I just know me, it'll get caught on a door handle or something. Even if it's a tiny little hole, it doesn't matter. I'll figure out a way to like rip stitches. So that is my rocket tee. I should probably try this on soon, see how it's going. I don't think I've tried it. Well, I can't try the other stuff on because they're all bottom up. But yeah, that is living in here. Surprisingly, still fits. You guys, I've missed being on here though, I have to say. So this is like a fun time for me. Okay, this is the, no, I lied. This is not the last garment I'm working on. Guys, I have a problem. I don't know why I'm working on so many garments. But anyway, living in this absolutely lovely bag by Stolen Minutes is my carved pullover by Emily Haver. Now, initially, if you have been following along and have watched any of the vlogs or anything, this yarn was a Mayberry cardigan. And as much as I loved that cardigan and as badly as I wanted that finished object because it was just so squishy and I know I would have lived in it, I dreaded picking that thing up to knit it because the fisherman's rib was just like murder. And the worst part was I got through all of the increases. I split for the sleeves and I was just looking at it and I was like, as much as I will wear this cardigan, I could not bring myself to knit it. Like, honestly, it was like a chore to pick it up. So I said to myself, you know what? It's not bringing me joy. Rip it out. So I did. I frogged it. And I've been wanting a carved pullover for a while, but all the like sweaters quantity of DK that I had in my stash was, to me, not the right color for a pumpkin carved sweater. Like, I have like a dark purple and I have like a very pale blue, and I was like, this is just not gonna work. So when I ripped that out, I was like, no, that has to be this because it's just like a nice neutral gray, you know? So that is the carved pullover. Haven't split for the sleeves yet. I have started you can barely see it, the pumpkin chart. I don't know if you can even see that. But yeah, working through the raglan increases and everything. I am very excited for this. I feel like I'm gonna wear the crap out of it because it's just like Halloween all the time. And that's my life. Oh, I have a progress keeper in here. This little ghosty is from 3 by the Sea Designs. It came with their Haunted Mansion mystery set. And I'll throw this guy over here. Look at me, 2 projects with progress keepers. So yeah, that is my carved. We'll see how much progress I make by next time. Did I say what yarn I'm knitting this out of? I did not. I'm knitting it out of the Hobie Amigo, which is their DK in the light gray melange colorway. That's living in this bag. I don't know why I do this to myself, you guys. There's so much. There's so much. There's so much. There's so many. I still have 3 more projects to talk about. But it's fine. We'll keep it moving. Oh God. So, living in this giant Disney tote bag, because, you know, is my folklore cardigan. As much of the world is currently, I am in my Swiftie era. I've been in my Swiftie era for a very, very, very long time. I'm just glad that the world has finally caught up to me. But I was watching the video, what video was it? I guess it was cardigan. I don't remember. I forget what video I was watching, but it was one of her videos, and she was wearing this, and I needed one. So I found a pattern. Ugh, isn't it beautiful, you guys? I don't really do cables, and I don't really do super long-term projects, but I needed this sweater in my life. So this one is actually a free pattern from Lion Brand, and it's knit out of worsted weight yarn. I'm working on the back piece right now. It's gorgeous. This is not a progress keeper. I'm using this by Twice Sheared Sheep. It's like a knit until tool. So yeah, that's what that's for. I should put a regular progress keeper on there. I gotta get 6 more inches. I have 3 more inches to go till I hit the part of the pattern where I can start like shaping. But this is the back panel. Oh, isn't it lovely? I am knitting it out of, I actually stashed over for this, which is awesome. I'm not sure what the black for the little striping is. I honestly have no idea. I just went in my stash and said, oh, I needed a black. Oh, my kids dropped a fidget spinner in there, or a fidget thing. That's always fun. I want to say it's Lion Brand Heartland. Just by looking at it, I think that's what it is, but I honestly don't know. The white, or off-white, however, is Loops and Threads Impeccable in the Aran colorway. I had a bunch of this in my stash, and I said to myself, when I saw this sweater, I was like, I'm not buying any more yarn. I don't need any more sweaters. I said, but if I have enough in stash, that's my sign. And I did, and here we are. I cannot wait until this is done. It is... Now this, I'm going to wear the crap out of. This doesn't feel like a chore when I pick it up to knit it. This, I'm just like, oh, I love watching the cables grow, especially this like center panel. This is a cardigan I will live in, because I just, my Swiftie self is just like here for it. Yeah, so that's my folklore. Don't we love it? I'm running out of room on the floor to put these things, guys, because I've got baby stuff all over the place too. Okay, this is the last garment I'm working on, and it's a little difficult to show. Living in this Beauty and the Beast tote bag. So I was watching Michelle Jasic, her channel, and I love the way she just like comes up with like her sweater ideas and stuff. But she crocheted a sunflower cardigan. I'll link the video down below. And I was like, oh my God, I need one of those. And she like kind of walked you through what she did. So it's not technically a tutorial, but it's not technically a pattern. I don't really know what to call it. But I'm following exactly what she's doing, because based on the videos and stuff, she looks like she's probably about the same size as me. So I feel like this will fit. But yeah, I am crocheting this sunflower cardigan. These are what the sunflowers look like. I have to make 48 of them, and then I have to make 2 half ones to go kind of like right here. And I think I have 10 full squares left to make. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to count everything. Anyway, I am crocheting this using my Furls crochet hook, is size H, 5mm. And I'm using a bunch of yarn I had in my stash. So the brown, which is the center of the squares, is Red Heart Super Saver in the coffee colorway. The yellow is Red Heart Super Saver in the bright yellow colorway. This orange I know is Loops and Threads Impeccable. I'm not sure the colorway name, because I have a crap ton of it in stash. Oh wait, is this the ball band for it? Oh, it is. Hooray. In the pumpkin color. I have a ton of that in stash left over from a blanket that I made, so that perfect. And then the black, I believe this is a Lion Brand Pound of Love. I don't have a ball band for it. I'm 99% sure. And I am praying that I have enough, because I have 10, like I said, 10 more full squares, 2 half squares, and then I am going to be using this for like the ribbing and like seaming it all together and everything. So I am praying I have enough. We're crossing our fingers, but this looks enough like I might probably have more black in my stash. I don't know. I have to look at my shelves. But yeah, this I really thought was going to be done a lot faster than it is, but it takes me about 20 minutes to make one square. And I've been noticing lately that if I work too much, like if I do too many of these squares, like it kills my hands. So this is slow moving, but it'll get done when it gets done, as long as it's done by the fall, because I have this like idea to wear it with like just like a plain white tee and like some ripped up jeans, and I feel like it's gonna look cute. So that's that. Yeah, that's all of my garments, I guess. I do have one more project to talk about. Living kind of in 2 bags right now. This is my DK Jelly Roll Blanket by Kay Jones. I'm making it DK by holding 2 yarns double. It's just a bunch of scraps. Oh look, I have a progress keeper on this one too. This little Coraline, got that from Dragon Horde Yarn with her, I think it was like her Coraline Halloween mystery set last year or whatever. Like I said, I buy everything Coraline because of my husband. I mean, I love the movie too, don't get me wrong, but it's like his jam. So yeah, I've just got a bunch of scraps in here so far. It's mostly fingering weight held double, except this was an actual DK, this brown. But all the information about this is on my project page. I know I'm using the same needle size that Kay the Crazy Sock Lady is using, or used for her DK weight one, and then I think I'm following the joining method for the Northeasterly blanket, like Allison of Lofty Loops does for hers. I have it all written down on my project page, but I obviously haven't had to join anything yet because this strip I don't feel is long enough. But what I'm doing for this project is living in this bag, which I think I got from Toad Hollow, New Jersey, I believe. I don't know. So initially I was working on a scrappy granny stripe, but I lost steam. No joy in this. So I said to myself, I was working on the scrappy granny stripe, and then I would also make a granny square. I don't know what my plan was for this, guys. I really genuinely don't know. So what I'm doing is I'm ripping out the color from the blanket and then ripping out the coordinating granny square and just holding them double. And that's that. And then I figure once I get through all these scraps, I'll go through my scrap bin and kind of wind off bits and bobs, odds and ends. I think baby might be waking up. We'll see. To go with it. It's going to be a long-term project. I'm not crazy worried about it. Honestly, I work on it when I can, when I feel like it. So yeah. That is all the crafty content that I have for you. So if you're just here for the crafty stuff, thanks. I'll see you next time. I am going to jump into life and reading and stuff now. So if you're interested in that, let's jump in. We'll jump into reading first. I think he went back to sleep. And now he's rolling around. Hold on. Oh, I can hear him pretty well upstairs. So I'm just going to turn the volume off on that while I finish this up. He'll be fine. Anyway, yeah, I just finished Mother Knows Best by Serena Valentino yesterday. This is part of her Villains series, which if you haven't read it, it's just like it kind of tells like all the Disney villains' backstories. It's a whole series. This is the 5th or 6th. Is there a list of all of them in here? Please tell me there's a list of all of them in here. Really? There's no list? Anyway, I don't know what number this is in the series, but I still have like 6 more to go before the newest one comes out in July that I pre-ordered. So I'm trying to move my way through this. I gave it 4 stars because I just kind of felt like the writing had diminished from the previous books, but I did really enjoy Mother Gothel's backstory. So yeah. Oh, I have a bookstagram that I just started if you guys want to follow me. I'll link it down below. It's ashreads_books. So I'm doing a lot of book talking over there. But anyway, Mother Knows Best. Finished this yesterday. Gave it 4 stars. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Got to keep going with that series if I want to get ready for the Gaston book that's coming out in July. But it's pretty easy to get through, luckily, so I'm not too worried. I'm also reading Psych, Mind Over Magic by William Rabkin. I love Psych. It's one of my all-time favorite shows. And this is kind of like my palate cleanser book because it's like reading an episode of Psych, which is fantastic. So this is kind of like on the back burner. I read this when I'm like, what do I feel like reading? Because it's like reading an episode of Psych. I freaking love it. On my Kindle, I am reading Pure as Snow by... Who's it by? Let's see. I'm reading way too many books at once, by the way, guys. So this is Pure as Snow, a Snow White retelling. It's the 4th book in the Fairy Tales Reimagined series by Jessie Cal and Laura Burton. I really enjoy this series. It's kind of like, it's definitely meant for a younger audience. Like the writing isn't very like, you know, mind-blowing or anything, but I love fairy tale retellings. It's like my favorite thing. And I bought this series because the 5th book in it is, I saw a ad on Instagram and it was like, what if Ariel fell in love with Captain Hook? Or like the Little Mermaid fell in love with Captain Hook. And I was like, I texted my friend Nicole and I was like, oh my God, it's like this book was written for me. I love Peter Pan, Captain Hook. Peter Pan retellings are my favorite thing in the universe. The Never King series, just perfection. And The Little Mermaid is my favorite movie of all time. So I texted my friend Nicole and she was like, oh my God, you need to read it. And then I found out it was book 5 in this series. And I was like, you kidding me? So the wonderful soul that she is sent me an Amazon gift card so I could buy it for my Kindle. And I've been kind of flying through it. They're easy to read books. I generally read these in between things because they're, like I said, they're easy to read. But yeah, so Snow White, I haven't actually started it yet. I'm on page 1. I may start it today though, because I just, you know, I'm trying to keep it moving here, guys. The next book I'm reading, we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room last, is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires by Grady Hendrix. I really like this book so far. I'm only like 4 chapters in, but I always need like a horror thriller to kind of like break up all the fantasy that I read because I tend to hit fantasy overload. I'm enjoying this so far. The last book I read of his was My Best Friend's Exorcism, and I really, really liked that. And this apparently takes place in the same universe as that. Like, it's not a direct sequel, but it takes place in the same kind of thing. But so this is my current focus read right now, because I always need some kind of horror to break up all the fantasy that I'm reading. So that's that. Now we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room that I've been reading since February, and that is House of Flame and Shadow. I love the first 2 Crescent City books. I pre-ordered this the second it went on sale. I was so excited. I flew through A Court of Silver Flame. I had to push through that a little bit because I hated Nesta. Now she's my girl. I love her. But I had to push through that. I flew through it so I could read this, because if you've read 2, the way 2 ends, I needed to be finished with A Court of Silver Flames before I could start this. So, just the way things tie in. But I am currently 40 chapters in. I'm on page 358. I'm not even 50% done. I've been reading this book since February, and I don't know why it is taking me so long to get into. I loved House of Earth and Blood, the first one. I mean, it took me a little bit to get into it, but once I got into it, I like devoured it. And then House of, what is it, Sky and Breath is the second one. That one took no time. I was like, boom, flew through it. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with this book, but it's killing me and it's hurting my brain. So it's, some days I'm like, yes, we're going to read Crescent City today. And I make a good chunk of progress. And then I look at it, it's taunting me. It's been sitting on my end table next to me on the couch for days and days and days and days and days and days. Obviously, I've been reading it since February. And it's taunting me. It's like mocking me. It's like, come on, Ashley, read it. Anyway, that's what I'm reading right now. Watching and life stuff. Life is just crazy. I have 3 boys. It's wild all the time. But yeah, I got the opportunity to film this today because my oldest he's in school all day. He's almost 9, Bruce. And then Paul, my middle one, has a field trip today. Normally he goes to school in the afternoons from 12 to like 3. But he's, they're there all day and Keith is on his field trip with him. So I was like, cool, perfect. Time to film a podcast. But, yeah. Keith and I have been watching Fargo. That's our show. We're on season 2. We're a little bit, we're pretty close to the end. We're loving that show so far. And then Keith and I are watching with our friend Kristen. We are rewatching. It's a rewatch for us. It's the first time for Kristen, The Sopranos, which I love The Sopranos. I mean, I feel like it's like you're obligated when you're from Jersey to love The Sopranos. I feel like it comes with the like territory. But yeah, so we've been watching that. That's kind of like our Sunday thing. What else? I think we've been rewatching Psych. We usually put that on when we're like, just want something chill because we've seen it before and we just, you know, you just need some Psych sometimes. And we've been playing a lot of Disney Lorcana, the card game. It's so good. If you are into trading card games or whatever, it's top tier. And the art on the cards is just insane. But other than that, it's just kind of been a life with 3 boys. I mean, yeah, the baby just turned 9 months old, which is wild to me. He had his checkup yesterday. He's doing great. He's growing. He's huge. But yeah, that's it, I think. I don't have any acquisitions. Yes, I do. They're in a box in there. I ordered yarn for Keith wants a Darth Vader sweater from the Star Wars knitting book. I'll show all that next time. I don't feel like getting up and getting it because I do have to get this baby. He's sitting up and his new favorite thing is he just likes to bang his head. I don't know. He thinks it's funny. Babies. Anyway, that is everything. Everything will be linked down below as far as where to find me, project pages, all that. If I forgot to talk about anything, that's all linked below. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you next time. Bye!